Oh, Ridley, I'm so sorry.
Don't be ridiculous, Spoons. Sit down. We have important matters to discuss.
Ridley, I promise I'll make it up to you. Besides, you won't believe the day I had. First, that bridge collapsed. Then, if you can believe it, because I certainly struggled too, some swank tipped over my moped at the polo club. It's one thing after another. As if we didn't have enough going on already. You know, the events of 2 days had me pondering my entire existence. All the plans, all the pressure, even the legacy of my father.
That's quite enough, Spoons. I don't need to hear your pathetic excuses. Now, please, sit down. Dinner may have been ruined by your tardiness, and I hate to reward your bad behavior. But I did manage, after taking a great personal risk, to procure a bottle of that elusive nectar that you enjoy so greedily.
You sure do know how to spoil a man, don't you, Ridley? As naughty as I am, I don't think I deserve it.
I don't think you deserve it. But, on the other hand, if I didn't think you were worth it, I never would have gone through the trouble. Your pleasure is my pleasure, Spoons. Guilty as you are. After all, isn't that my philosophy? I'd be a fool not to keep a man of your talents close to me. I'm beginning to think I may never let you go.
You keep talking like that, I may never leave. To Vancouver.
Do as. Pleasantries aside, did Mrs. Woodsworth take the bait?
There's a bear shit in the woods.
Must you always be so crude? You know how I feel about that, Spoons.
Of course he took the bait. She'd been stupid not to. She's desperate, of course. Nevertheless, your hunch was correct. Your source has passed the final test. In any case, it's a small but crucial victory. There's not much that woman wouldn't do for a sweet treat. She'd stick her in a bowl of my mama's you-know-what.
This is most reassuring news. We must act swiftly now if we are to orchestrate our enemies' sure demise. But be careful with that silver tongue of yours, Spoons. You mustn't forget this is my mother-in-law we're talking about.
So what? That woman's been handled by more men than the Sherman Minton Bridge. Never mind the fact that she's a bourgeoisie handbag.
I don't entirely disagree with you, but it would be unwise to underestimate her. My late uncle learned that lesson all too well, and we would be remiss to follow in his footsteps. We both in agreement, are we not, that to act swiftly is the only way to maximize our outcome for success?
No offense, Ridley, but your uncle deserved what happened to him. I do agree that we must act swiftly. But how shall we proceed? We're already taking a big risk here.
We must be more careful, Spoons. There's no room for error. We can't afford to be compromised. So from here on out, we must act separately. Your mother also must be distanced from the situation.
What? But Mommy's a great asset, Ridley. We can still use her.
No, not after the events of last week. She's become a liability. It's nothing personal, Spoon. She's an excellent chef. But what we're doing is more than just defrauding the police, you know. There's more at stake now than my timeshare in Boca Raton. Even your moped isn't safe. We must tread lightly from here on out. If we fail, should we fail, I told you, I'm not going back.
Well, She won't be pleased, and I won't pretend to be. But I get it.
We are about to make our penultimate move. If we are to succeed, our chances of failure shall be slimmer than I was last Burning Man. But this will be the most difficult test. I'm counting on you. The PPGP is counting on you.
Relax, I told you. My contact in the DOJ is untouchable. I'm ready for this.
Good. Your eagerness is the thing I've always found most compelling about you. And the most pleasurable. But I'm afraid you're going to have to get those delicate little hands of yours dirty for the next task. I've heard word from Roran, and he's given us the green light. You'll have to do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I can't. You know why? Oh, Ridley, please don't make me do this. Can't I do one thing for myself?
Don't be foolish, Spoons. You know how complex the situation is. The people for the pursuit of guilty pleasures care very little about your personal insecurities. They have high expectations of you.
I know. It's just so unfair sometimes. I almost feel violated. It's not that I don't love being the object of pleasure, but what about my own?
If you ask me one more silly question, Spoons, you know what you signed up for.
But Ridley!
You must stay rational. Do not lose sight of our goal. We are past the point of no return now. I suggest you rid yourselves of this infantile fantasy. I have made clear to you, have I not, my opinion on cosmetic surgeries.
I know how you feel, but you don't understand.
You will act, and you will do it tomorrow.
Fuck you, Ridley. Fuck you. You know, I didn't want it to have to come to this. What if I refuse? You and your own guilty pleasures. You do it then. Hell, you done it before. I still remember 86. I was there in 97. You can't make me reschedule. Not this time. Not again.
Don't make this personal. You know why I can't do it. I would have loved to. It just so happens to be a luxury I can no longer afford myself. 86, 97. Those were the glory days. I remember them fondly, and I often think of them in those intimate moments I spend alone with myself by the lake. Things have changed, Spoons. I've changed. There are things that have been revealed to me. I now know the true nature of this world, and it is most pleasurable. And if we're not guilty in our own pursuit of it, then we will all burn.
You know I share that vision, Ridley. Sometimes I feel like you take me for granted. Get what you really want. The glory days are over for you. You can't have them back.
Must you be so selfish?
I'm being selfish. I'm risking everything here. For us.
And I won't pretend that I don't envy your position. If not only for the ripeness of your flesh, or the potential you have under my tutelage, then the opportunity you have been given to change the world for our pleasure. I do not like to see you unhappy, and your unhappiness with your appearance feels like a shortcoming on my part. Your reluctance to see what I see, what the council says, it has troubled me.
Don't lecture me on your failings, Ridley. I don't agree with you. This ain't got nothing to do with you or us or the PPGP. I ain't stupid. I see how y'all look at me. It ain't right. This is the top rhinoplasty surgeon in the world. He's an artist. If I miss this appointment, maybe years before I develop the self-confidence I need to be a good father, be a good husband. Think you got me all figured out. But you're wrong. I got my own guilty pleasures. My father, I won't be like him. I can't. Every time I look up in the mirror, what do I see? Who do I see? Man, run by desire. Man who wanted it all, lost everything. He haunts me. I can't even talk to Sharon about it. I can feel us drifting apart. Paralyzed by it. I think it might already be too late. Scares me, Ridley.
I know, Spoons. I know what it's like.
You don't know what it's like. You couldn't possibly know what it's like. To be the
bad man? Or to be the sad man? I know what it's like because I've been both those men, Spoons. Look into my blue eyes. Tell me, do you see anything behind them? You're not the only one who's grown up to realize that their father's a complete loser, a hack, a shell of a man. But Spoons, you are not your father. Even if you bear an uncanny resemblance to him, it is not what you are born that determines your worth in this world. It's those things that you choose to pursue. Your father had great ambition, but he wanted too much. He wanted it all. He was not able to take it. Don't let his failures destroy you. Learn from his mistakes. You've been given an opportunity to finish what he started. And let's face it, even in his prime, your father's body couldn't have handled half of what I put yours through. I see you, Spoons, a good friend, an excellent lover, and a wonderful father and husband. You have a wonderful family. Your fear of losing them will only tear you apart if you continue to feed into it. You can't talk to Sharon because you can't talk to yourself. You don't need a new nose to look less like your father. You need only let go of your fear. Fear is the opposite of pleasure, and you know why we do what we do.
What if I fail? What becomes of us then? What if it's all for nothing?
Only you can decide that, Spoons. Do make an honest effort there. I take no pleasure in forcing you to do anything. Your pleasure is mine, remember? So, will you succumb to your darkest fears, repeat the mistakes of yesterday's men? Or will you look to a brighter, guiltier, more pleasurable future? You must choose.
Ridley, why must we face pain on our path to ultimate pleasure? Is this really the true secret to freedom?
It is the only way.
Okay, I'll do it.
Good, Spoons, good. I knew you'd listen to reason. Your development has been most pleasurable to witness. I anxiously await to see how well you perform tomorrow. It is late. No more time for any misgivings. Do I have your word that you are prepared to act tomorrow, and that you will not dwell any further on this whole cosmetic affair?
You have my word.
After tomorrow, the path to pleasure shall be paved with force in gold. I ask a lot of you, Spoons, but that is only because I believe in you. God damn it, Spoons.